Okay, waiting for Instagram. There we go. We are live. Welcome back to our daily live feed as you are getting logged on. As always, if you'd like to come work with me, suitsandposing.com is where you have to go. We do hair, makeup, suits, and posing, all the fun stuff when it comes to competing for women. And as you're getting logged on tonight, hello on both Instagram and on YouTube. If you are on Instagram and you'd like to see our YouTube channel, we will be screen sharing over there. What's up, Amanda? We will be reviewing the shows from this past weekend. What's up, Raven? And while we're waiting for everybody to get on, we always give it a few minutes for notifications to go out and all that stuff. Cuties conquering the stage. Tickets. The early bird pre-registration is open now. So if you have not done that yet, you're already missing out because we already sent out our first preview video today. So the way you get in on that is the link is in our bio here on Instagram. It's in the description box on YouTube. So all you got to do is click on that, put your name and your email address in there. That gets you into the list. And then that way you get all of our communications. Now, once you do that, make sure that you whitelist all of our communications so that they come into your inbox, be paying attention, all of that, so that you can be in the know. I'm good. Thank you. And we are going to be reviewing 3 shows tonight. We're going to be reviewing the Tokyo Pro. Raven's IG share may have been my favorite. Can't wait to retake this photo. Great memories. Yes, great memories. I think was that Raven that shared that, or was that Brandy? Bro, I had to remove you from my live the last time too because you were distracting. If you continue to comment like this, I'm going to have to remove you. This is not about me. This is about the sport that I am a part of. So I'm going to give you one chance to zip your lip and not be distracting. Otherwise, I'm taking you off of my live stream again. Okay? Thank you. Putting the smack down, y'all. Yes, our class picture. I've gotten so confused. I just share everything. So I think Brandy posted that too. I think so. Maybe you did as well, Raven. But I just reshared one of Brandy's where she shared her first year and then her most current year. So yes, the cuties class photo. Yes, we do it every year. We do a very prim and proper one always, and then we do a fun one always. The fun ones are always the ones that get reposted, of course, because that's where we see personality. We love personality, right? And yes, proud of Eureka. Yes, she won the Tokyo Pro. So we're going to talk about that one first. And then we're going to go into, we might go into, I don't know what order I'm going to do it. I'm just going to go based on our conversation because I want to talk about the tiebreaker question in the Excalibur. I want to go over that as well. So we're going to do that too. But we're going to start with Tokyo because it was kind of, and I'll just pull up the picture now so you guys can see it. If you're on Instagram, flip on over to YouTube. So I'm going to start screen sharing. Okay, so, oh my God. Okay, you are getting removed. I'm sorry, but you do this every time. I'm going to have to block you next time. You're removed from the live feed. Holy Lord. Okay, anyway. Goodness. Anyway, so we're bringing up Eureka. So we are going to talk about this particular show just briefly because really I kind of glanced through the photos. I didn't see any video and things like that. So I glanced through the photos. And to me, it's just some guy on Instagram that is consistently giving unneeded compliments and it's just distracting. So I just got rid of them. So anyway, That's not what this is about, y'all. So this particular show, it was like Eureka and everybody else. Like she was just heads and tails above everybody else, even the girl in second place. So if you look through Instagram, or I'm sorry, if you look through NBC News Online, they literally took a picture of like every single movement that they made. There's 14 pages of photos for these girls. So you can literally, I'm not even to a front pose yet. We're on page 4. So I'm going to go to her front pose. I'm going to pull that up. They always do that for all these Asian shows too. If you ever notice that. So they do it big in these Asian countries. Like they have huge production quality and they do 1,000 photos per girl. Like it's crazy. So we could literally be here and do a whole like flip book of her photos and see her entire routine in action. So, I'm just going to pull up one of her main front pose pictures and then we'll flip to her back pose. And again, like I said, like this was just a kind of this was going to happen regardless. She was going to win a show at some point. She just, she came out of nowhere this year and she automatically got the attention. She's got great stage presence. She's got a great physique. Her glutes are ridiculous. You'll see that when we turn her to the back. And this is probably the best balance I've seen her front pose. What I'd still like to see her do between now and Olympia is fill those shoulders out a little bit more. This is a little bit of a dark photo, but you can see that her waistline V is in really nice and tight right here. And then it comes up and this is a nice V, but I'd like to see a little bit more fullness to this shoulder right here to match the glute. But she's pretty damn close to being very, very good. She's got her hair off of her face, which she's done the last couple of shows, which I'm a big fan of. I don't like it when the hair is in girls' face. I can't see their beautiful smile, that kind of thing. To me, this is really a lot better than what she's had in the past. She's a little bit shiny with her look, but I think that this show might have been outside, if I'm not mistaken. I looked through a bunch of these photos and a lot of the girls are just kind of a little bit shiny on their face. So it might be a sweat kind of thing. I don't know. I don't know if this show was inside or outside, but a lot of these Asian shows end up being outside. So that might be the case here. If somebody knows, please let me know. Please type it into the comments or something. But I felt like a lot of girls, their face was shiny in the photos. So anyway, that's just something to be paying attention to map that down. But I think overall, this was really a very well balanced front pose, first of all. And I'd just like to see some more fullness to her shoulders. I'm going to turn her to the back and then we can take a look at that. Let me just pull, it's going to take, I have to go through like 5 pages of photos to get to a back shot. Let's see if she's in 6. Here's one. Okay, let me share this one. Well, maybe not. Sometimes this thing is a little funky with how it's sharing. So hang on a second. Well, my computer just froze. Awesome. If you are on Instagram, give me just a second because my computer decided to just freeze on me on YouTube. Wait for the program to respond. Hopefully it'll come back. There we go. Okay. Sorry guys, if you're on YouTube, my computer just froze for a second there. So my bad. I'm going to switch. I think I'm clicking too fast. There we go. Okay. Here's her back pose right here. So she has a really phenomenal glute back pose. She's got a great shape too that goes from her middle of her lower back, which is very small, up into her shoulders. Again, I just like to see a little bit more fullness in these shoulders up here. And then she's going to be very dangerous. Very, very dangerous. Really, really good shape, really, really good look, really, really good pose, all of that. So going into the Olympia, I would say just work on those shoulders. And again, her stage presence is phenomenal too. If you've ever seen her actually pose in person, she does an amazing job with her posing and her presence. So she's gonna be good. Coach Jamie's gonna have a busy Olympia. Yeah. There's a lot of girls that are qualified right now. Yes, absolutely. It's gonna be a crazy Olympia. So congratulations to Eureka. Did a fantastic job right there. Yeah, so JB DeBernard is her coach. Jamie DeBernard is also Jordan's coach who won Excalibur. So yes, Jamie's going to have a lot of athletes in the Olympia this year. just a few. So yeah, that was, again, this is one of those things where I felt like Eureka was going to win a show regardless, and this was a smart move on her part to go into this show and pretty much win it hands down. So good job for her. Let's move to Sin City Pro next. We'll talk about the wellness pros next. So Bruna did win this. I'm going to start with Renee Harshey, who took 5th. So that's who I'll pull up first. I actually didn't even look through her photos. I was looking through the top 4 because really the confirmation round was with the top 4. Renee was not included in that. But let me just show you what I see with Renee. Okay. So one of the things I mentioned in our preview was that I felt like she was just a little bit too small. She just looks like she's a bigger bikini competitor. And that's not really what wellness is. Wellness is bikini conditioning, but with lower half being bigger, right? And when you look at Renee here, to me, she looks really well balanced. She's got shoulders, she's got arms, she's got muscle everywhere. Her quads are not that thick, not that dominant. So to me, this just looks like a bigger version of bikini. It's almost like she's in between bikini and figure right now. So beautiful look. I liked her suit from Pittsburgh better. You guys know I don't like the pie plate suits, so I'm not sure why she went to the pie plate, but she went to the pie plate. Maybe she thought that would help her look, help her with her wellness balance. But in my opinion, I liked the other suit better. Again, she's a beautiful girl, but just in my opinion, what I'm looking at right here is somebody that looks like she's a little bit bigger and more muscular than bikini. That's what it looks like to me. It doesn't look like wellness to me. So she's just got to, figure out which direction she wants to go with this. If she wants to continue to be really successful in wellness, she's going to have to keep growing that lower half. I mean, that's the main thing. I would probably keep the upper half where it is. She's nice and tight, all of that, and just continue to work on growing those quads. Let me pull up a back shot so we can take a look at her back. She's in really good condition, all of that. Like, again, she's just very well balanced. And that's not particularly the wellness look. Wellness is supposed to be unbalanced. So let's take a look at her front pose real quick. Let's see if it's the same thing here. Yeah, I mean, she looks good. Like, don't get me wrong. And she's trying to bring her her lower half, her upper half down and her lower half up. She's trying. I can see it, but when you look at this, again, she just doesn't have that really dominant quads versus upper body. Like, to me, I feel like she could hit figure poses right here. To me, that's where she is. To me, she looks like she could hit figure and be pretty balanced right here. And she might be considered to be too small for figure, but she's definitely too big for bikini. So at this point, she's just got to figure out what direction she wants to take her physique. Let me take a look at her back pose real quick. Yeah, when we're looking at the back, I mean, she's really trying with her posing to make it look wellness. She's really trying with her wellness, with this to look wellness, because she's squeezing her upper back, really bringing those arms in tight. She's covering up everything with her hair up top, all of that. But, if she was to pose open, you could see she has a back and everything there too. And I would say that this conditioning is not quite there in the back. She's a little soft from the back. Again, she's too big for bikini, but she's got to grow more for wellness. She needs some more quads for wellness. Just more lower half in general for wellness. And I'd go back to the suit she had in Pittsburgh personally. That's what I would do. Let's see. Let's go to who was in 4th. Michelle. So this girl had a really good package too. Looking through her photos a little bit, I did glance through the top 4. She has a much better wellness balance to her, right? Let me find a good front pose. Let's see. She could adjust this front pose a little bit. I think that would help her. She's almost standing too much at a T. I'd like to see her open that knee up a little bit and get those quads to look a little bit bigger. She just needs to take this knee and push it out this way. So I'd probably take this heel out about an inch. So she's at a T right here. I bring it to almost an L and then pull this knee out. I think that would make her look a whole lot bigger on this lower half right here. It would make her waistline look smaller too. To me, this just looks like somebody she just needs to pop a little bit more. Conditioning is there. Conditioning is good. Even from the back, I'll turn her to the back too. But she just lacks some pop in her physique. She just lacks some overall pop. But you can see here, like she doesn't have the caps on her shoulder like Renee did. You know, like this is more of a wellness look right here, more of a wellness balance. Oops. Let's take a look at her back shot. Here we go. And I could see her needing some more from the back as well. See how she just lacks a little bit of pop back here? I'd like to see, her glutes are pretty good as far as size are concerned. I'd like to see some more quads and hamstrings here. And I'd like to see more pop, some more fullness here. She's just a little bit hard and dry. She just needs to fill out. Now, when we go to our next girl on the list, which is Frida, you're going to see the difference by what I mean by pop. Okay, so now again, by contrast, she's definitely lower body dominant. She does not have those caps on her shoulders and things like that up here. She is 100% wellness down on the bottom. She just needs to fill out a little bit. She just needs to fill this out and pop a little bit more. And like I said, I would still put some more size back here on the quads and hamstrings. We're going to go to third place next, which is Frida. Now, Frida has made the transition quite successfully from bikini to wellness. She was a bikini Olympian, and now she is a wellness pro, and she's doing quite well. She did take quite a bit of time off. This is her first time back in over a year and a half. And she has definitely improved her overall look for wellness. Let me find a good front pose for her. She's kind of in transition right there. Is this a good one? There we go. Okay. Now, where Frida needs to still work on is pulling her quads up a little bit more. So same thing here. She's a different bird in that she has that fullness. She has that pop. And you're going to really see it when we get around to that back pose. But she still does need more quad. She needs more quad here, but she's 100% outgrown bikini. This is definitely the right call for her as far as moving up is concerned, her structure, that kind of thing. This is the direction that she needs to be going. She's another one that I would probably pull this foot out just a little bit and pop that knee out just a little bit. That would make her quads look a little bit bigger in this front pose. One of the things that's going to always play very well for Frida is that she's gorgeous. That's always going to play very, very well for her. That always reads well on stage. She's got an amazing stage presence and she's beautiful. So she's always going to get that look because of that. And now she's in really good shape too. The last time that she was on stage in wellness, she wasn't quite conditioned. I know she just kind of jumped into it. This was a much better package put together. Now let's turn her to the back. Let me see. Here's a back shot. Okay. So you can see quite clearly that she is too big for bikini. And then also, again, she's small up here on top and she's bigger on bottom. Now, she is longer in her legs than a lot of these wellness girls. If we pull up the comparison shots, which I will pull up a few of the comparison shots, you're going to see that, which means she's going to have to work a little bit harder to get these quads and hamstrings to pop a little bit more. Glutes are fine. Glutes are phenomenal. I mean, she probably can still grow a little bit more in the glute, but I would really focus more so on the quads. And that's going to be probably her main focus. You know what I mean? But this is a much better condition package than what she had the last time that she was on stage in wellness. So she's definitely going in the right direction here. Just needs some more size, which takes time to build that stuff up, you know? But yeah, this was definitely the right move for her as far as she was one of those ones that was really fighting to stay in bikini with her size. So she's going the right direction. All right, so next one is Karen, and this is the one that I mentioned when I pulled up her first set of photos on the preview, was that I'd only seen pictures of her with her her last NPC show. So this, I don't know if this is her pro debut or anything like that, but she looked really, really good. Now, this is a very good potential wellness pro right here, right? You can see even with her knee in and with her toes in and everything like that, you can see how dominant her lower half is here. Tight little waistline, all of that. With that nice pop in the glutes here too. So yeah, and everyone looked great at this show, absolutely. So this girl right here shows some serious promise. She will likely win a pro show relatively soon, I would guess. Beautiful girl too, beautiful overall look. This is the same kind of look that she had in the last NPC pictures that we pulled up. She just kind of refined it a little bit, which I think was good. I think she did a good job there. Let me pull up her back shot. Now, back shot is where she's going to need to work a little bit. Her pose is off. Her pose is definitely off in this particular pose. Her feet are way too wide apart. I think if she brought her feet together, stood up a little taller on those knees and pushed her knees out and her toes out a little bit, this would play a whole lot better. Right now, she's looking pretty glute dominant. Looks like she doesn't have much of a quad sweep on the outside out here. And it's really a lot of it's just because of the way she's posing. So I'd like to see her kind of tweak this pose and get this into the right position to showcase her physique better. She does have some good pop in her glutes, but we're missing the pop in her quads and her hamstrings here. That's where she needs to fill that out. And that's really, I think, more about her posing than anything else right now. Overall, great package. She just needs some tweaks. Okay, so we're going to go to Bruna, and then when we finish out with Bruna, then I'll go back and pull up a few comparison shots too, so you can see the difference between these girls. So this, we talked about, this was kind of Bruna's show to lose. You know, everybody kind of assumed going into it that she was going to win it, and she did, and this was a very good package for her. Positive in the suit change. I liked that a lot. Now, see what I was talking about with the feet? See how her feet here are in an L and how much thicker her quads look now because she's not in a T right here. She's in an L. That makes such a difference. And her knees out just a little bit. So we're seeing the fullness of her quads. We're not seeing any thigh gap. We're seeing the fullness in her quads here, which is what we want. So this is a really good front pose. Showcases her physique very well. Waistline's nice and tight. Again, obviously very lower body dominant. This is a much better suit choice than what she had for Olympia. Very, very happy with that. This beautiful girl in the face too. That's always a plus. Let me find her back shot. Here's a good back shot right here. And here's her back shot right here. This is a phenomenal wellness back shot, right? Great glutes, great legs, great pop to her quads. This is a really good pose. This is what I was talking about that fullness in the quads. She has the fullness in the quads and the hamstrings. You can see that. You can see the depth. You can see the pop. Her glutes are ridiculous glutes. And they're well balanced with her lower body. They're well balanced with her quads and everything too. So I can really see her being a threat at Olympia. I could see her being a threat for that top 5. She's got a very, very good package right here and just needs some tiny tweaks probably going into the Olympia, but I wouldn't change a whole lot. I think that her overall look was very, very good. So probably still keep working on building up those legs some more, the quads some more, maybe a little bit more conditioning in the quads from the front. Let me pull up a side quarter turn. I haven't pulled up a quarter turn of hers. Let me look at what her quarter turns look like before I say anything more about conditioning. Well, she didn't really hit quarter turns in her routine. So that tells you something. That must be where her weakness is. Yeah, it's all front pose and back pose in her routine. So let me go to her, to the comparison shots real quick. Let me pull those up real quick. Let's see. Is this top 4? It is. Let me get one where they're all posed. Oh, this girl's still moving. There we go. Okay. All right. So here's your weakness. Okay. Let me show you real quick. Okay. Here's your top 4. Okay. So where Bruna is going to need to work is this right here. and her quarter turn. Nice tight waistline. Upper body's good. Don't need to do anything there. Glutes are good. She needs some fullness. Conditioning's good. Conditioning here is good. Needs some fullness here to the quads. So here you can also see where Frida needs some fullness to her quads as well. This is a nice quad sweep right here. Really nice quad sweep right here. So if we could take this and put it on Bruna, that's what we need right there, right? And now here you can see her conditioning is tight. Her conditioning is good, but she just needs to pop it. Like we talked about when we were looking at her individuals, she just needs to pop this conditioning a little bit more. She's a little bit too hard and dry. So she just needs to fill it out a little bit. That's an easy tweak for her. But that would be why Bruna didn't put this into her routine. It makes sense, right? She looks a little bit small here. She looks a little bit undersized here. Front pose and back pose, she looks phenomenal. Quarter turn, she looks a little bit undersized. Let me find a back pose with all top four. I think that's all top four. Yep. This is a good one. Okay. So here, to me, I mean, the back pose, Bruna wins it hands down, right? And then actually from the back, I would put Frida in second from the back. So this is what we're looking for from wellness. That's the fullness, that's the conditioning, that's the size that we're looking for right here. So you can see where the only place where Frida really needs to pull it up is the quad sweep on the outside, where her conditioning and her pop is really, really good. This right here just needs to be streamlined, and that's mainly because of the way she's posing with her feet. She needs that fullness on the outside of her quad, and it's almost like it kind of slopes in together with her glute and her quad right here. We want to see that separation, that pop, like Bruna has right here, and like Frida has right here. And what was her name? I forgot her name. Sorry. Let me pull up her pictures. So I'm not talking out. Michelle. So, and Michelle has that pop here too, but she needs more. She needs more pop. She's just a little bit dry again, just a little bit dry here. So from the back, I would actually put Frida in second. I would put Bruna first, Frida in second. So to me, looking at the photos and how they compared everybody at this show, it looked like it was very, very close between those top four. I think Bruna won it like pretty handedly, but I think, second through fourth was very close because I saw a lot of comparisons where they were all comparing each other. I didn't look at the scorecard, so I don't know exactly how many points were between each girl, but I do think it was a very tight top four. I think that it was correct, but I could see where any one of these girls could have flip-flopped over here, right? So that was our wellness show this weekend. What did I do? There we go. Okay. So next thing we're going to go to is we are going to go to the Excalibur. Before we go through this individually, I'm going to try and pull up video, which we had an issue with video last time. So let me see if I can get this video to work or not, because I pulled them up and they're not showing, of course, because I saved stuff from the live stream. So let's pull up first call out. Let's see if it will allow me to share it. Pause. Yep, there we go. Okay, perfect. Cool. Awesome. Okay, so this is our first call out right here. Let me go ahead and play it. Okay, I'm just gonna let this play while we're talking. It was a 4-minute first call out. Now, first thing I'm going to say, guys, this was a very frustrating show to watch because of the lighting. The lighting was horrible. So, when it comes to actually critiquing like our top 5 girls and things like that, I'm not going to do a whole lot of that because I can't see a whole lot from the photos. I looked through the photos and they're just so shadowed. You can't tell what their makeup looked like. You can't tell what their suit colors looked like. You can't tell what their tans looked like. None of those kinds of things. I mean, you can just see from looking at this live stream right here that it's just, you can't see who's darker than who. You can't tell who's more conditioned, who's not. There's girls at the back of the stage that are in complete darkness. So it just really, really difficult to critique this particular show. Yulia was in this show. She's over here on the side. She ended up being second call out. She sent me pictures and video from the actual auditorium and not live stream, and it was the same. It was the same kind of lighting there as what we saw on the live stream. So it's just really difficult to be able to judge this kind of stuff. And I do think that probably played a role in why they rejudged prejudging in finals. I do think that's why they moved them around as much as they did, all of that. The photo where Bruna is in the middle next to Karen doesn't look like she's small from this side. Okay. So we've moved on from Sin City, but yeah, that's just her area. I would say that she needs to pull up is her quad sweep on the side quarter turns. Anyway, so looking at this show, this is your top call out. So you have Jordan was the one that won it. That's her right here. Jody's right here. This is Marie Costa. So there we go. We got it zoomed in a little bit, but again, it's so shadowed. It's so hard. I can't say a whole lot about this because the shadows are just completely covering some of these girls up. You know what I mean? So that's unfortunate. It's almost like they had like one set of lights or something. I don't know. But you can see they moved them around quite a bit. Alessi's in the center there. This is the first time Alessi's been on stage in a while. And I wish I could see more here because then I could say what I thought she looked like, but I can't. I honestly can't see enough to be able to say anything. So, I know that the judges had a better view because they were right there in that front row, all of that kind of stuff. But it's just as a spectator, I got nothing. I got nothing here. So I can't tell you why one girl was one place and another girl was another place. I can't tell you why. So what we are going to focus on, though, is I'm going to kind of show you, again, I want you to be able to see this whole call out, see how they moved everybody. You can tell that Jody and Jordan were in the center for the majority of it. So you can tell this is your top four right here, right? And when they went along, they're going to take these girls off once they're done here, and they're going to bring out the second call out, and I'll pull the second call out once they finish up with this particular first call out. And then they came back with a confirmation round from prejudging. And they moved some of the girls that were in first call out into second call out. So these three girls that are in first call out right now will end up in second call out for the confirmation round. And they moved around a lot at that point. Gave the girls that were in second call out an opportunity to move themselves up. Okay. But it was pretty clear that we have our top four right here. Okay. This is our top four right here. And I think we're at the end right there. So I'm going to let them walk off. And then we're going to pull up second call out. So give me a second. Okay, so this is our second call out right here. There was 3 call outs altogether. So you can see Anya's over here. She was one of the girls that we mentioned might be in first call out. She ended up in second. Yulia's right here in second call out. Came up a little bit from where she was at Nashville and at Tampa. So she's improving as she goes along. This is Hope right here. We mentioned Hope might be one to be looking at. She's also second call out. We've got Emily right here. Kiki. I'm sorry, I don't know this girl right here. I don't know her name. But you can see they move these girls around quite a bit. And then once they did all of this, again, they brought them back out for confirmation round, and they did all these girls that you see here in the center. These 3, I believe, were brought out in confirmation. I'm going to let that keep playing so you can see this. They did a great job. So, I mean, as a competitor, this is kind of cool lighting because you see all the shadowing and you see all the movement and everything like that of the muscle, which is kind of cool. But as a judge, this is terrible. This is terrible lighting as a judge. So it's just really hard when you got all those shadows. I mean, literally the girls next to each other are all shadowing each other. You know what I mean? So, before prejudging, Yulia had an issue with her tan on her glutes. Fixed it before she went on stage. She sent pictures and all that kind of stuff to me, and she went to the tanning people and they fixed it for her. But, I was trying to watch this live stream to see if that was even an issue, and I couldn't tell. Couldn't tell if the tan was fixed or not. So I don't know. That's unfortunate because you like to be able to take data points from each show to make the next show better. You know what I mean? So you do what you can. And this is why you got to go get your feedback from the judges too, because again, they had a much better view than we did. So I would much rather have her go talk to the judges that were there in person versus me telling her what I thought she did and what I thought she did well and what I thought she needed to fix, because I can't see a whole lot of that. Right. So I think I have the confirmation round here too. Which one is this one? Is this the confirmation round? This is first call out confirmation round. So let me pull this up real quick. So there we go. Ken didn't want to stay on my butt Saturday, right, Yulia? Right. But you got it fixed. And again, I was kind of hoping I was able to see that on the live stream, but I wasn't able to see it. So I couldn't tell you if it was good or not. But from the pictures and stuff, you look fine. So so this is our top call out. This is the top 4 right here. Confirmation round at prejudging. And we're going to watch just a minute and watch how they move girls and how to move people around. So Jody, they're going to move her right now. There you go. Moving with Ivana. Jody won prejudging by 1 point. Okay. Then when they went to finals, they rejudged, but they only rejudged the top 4. So they only rejudged these 4 girls. The rest of the girls on stage did not get rejudged. It was just the top 4. So if you looked at the scorecards, Jordan won finals. So by 1 point. So what that meant was Jordan and Jody were tied. Now, I asked this question on my stories. How do you break a tie? Nobody knew. I had a lot of answers and none of them. I had one that was right, one right answer. And the person that said me, that I know that they knew what the answer was, that was Jordan's husband. So, so obviously he would know how they break a tie. But anybody here on live stream know how they would actually break a tie at a score on a score sheet? Anybody want to take a guess? And if you already looked on Google, then you are not allowed to answer. Because I had somebody say that too. I appreciate their honesty for telling me that they Googled it. But does anybody know? And this is something that there was one year at Cutie's Conquering the Stage that Sandy Williamson did come, and she did explain this. So if you were there the year that she was there, then you should know. You should know how they break a tie score. And she does actually talk about this, at some of these seminars, things like that too, and how they break a tie score. Anybody know? I'm going to leave it open for a minute to see if anybody can answer it. I'm going to give you guys the opportunity. And while I'm waiting to see if any of you guys know, so one of the questions that came into me too was they're like, well, isn't it the low score? It's like golf. Low score is what wins. And if that was the case, then wouldn't, I think it was Maria Costa, be in second or third, something like that. Let me see if I can quickly pull up the scorecards while we're talking about this. And then I can tell you for sure, but I might not be able to pull it up real quick. I don't know where it is in NBC News. Bottom line is, they only rescored the top 4. So the top 4 girls are going to have 2 scores. They're going to have a score from prejudging and they're going to have a score from finals. Okay, so when you add those 2 together, they're obviously going to have a higher score than everybody else on that stage. Everybody else on that stage is going to have a lower score because they were only judged at prejudging. They were not judged at finals. Okay, and this is consistent across the board. If it's a very close show, they will rejudge the top call out. But everybody else, they don't. So they rejudge the money spots. They rejudge the girls that are going to get Olympic points or Olympic qualifications. Okay. That's why at Pacific USA's, that's why the top 6, they were rejudged. That's why Jasmine went from 3rd to 6th, because they rejudged it at night. So if you are in that top call out, you better keep your shit straight, because they can definitely rejudge you at finals, which is what happened here. And it looks like nobody has the answer as to how they break a tie. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you. So how they break a tie is whoever has the most ones, basically, is the one that's going to win. So, for example, if there is a panel of 5 judges, the high score and the low score get dropped. Always. Doesn't matter. High score and low score always get dropped. So this is another reason why people that claim politics are full of shit. Because even if you have one judge that's on your side on that panel and like for whatever you paid them off, whatever it is, say they give you a 1, everybody else gives you a 5, that 1 is going to get dropped. So it doesn't matter unless you have the entire panel on your team and going to judge for you specifically, then politics is a stupid answer. Anyway, so there's that. So if they drop the high and low score, whichever athlete has the most first place actual votes is the one that's going to win. Okay, so let's say, for example, in this particular show, I don't know how it all broke out, but let's say that Jordan had 3 of the judges that gave her 1s and then had 2 2s. So that's her 5 votes right there. Let's say that Jody, somewhere along the line, got a 3 in there somewhere. Okay, so that 3 got dropped, but that also means that she had another 2 in there somewhere that Jordan didn't have, right? Does that make sense? So Jordan is going to end up with the win because she had more first place votes. Even though the scores, when they added up, were the same, she still had more number 1s. Comment in here if this makes sense. If she has the most number 1s, she's going to win. Regardless of how the scores add up, whoever has the most number 1s is going to win the show. This is the case in any tie. Whoever has the most high scores or low scores, as it were, because they're 1s versus 2s, that's the person that's going to win the show. Comment if that makes sense. Anybody need me to explain that further? Because so 1's not 1. Yeah, 1s. As in first place votes. Whoever has the most first place votes. No matter how the scores actually add up, whoever has the most high scores, number 1s, is going to be the one that wins. Correct. 1s. When I guessed on IG, I was thinking show wins. Yeah, nope. I don't know what man means. Tell me what you mean. Sounds clear. Okay. So if you get the most number 1s, majority of 1s win. Correct. Yes. Because in order to win a show, let's say you win a show with a perfect score. A perfect score, if you have 5 judges, would be 5. Because that means you got 5 1s. That would be your perfect score. Right? And then whoever's in second, if they got a perfect second place, then they got a 10 as their score because I got all 2s. Okay. So however those numbers added up that day, Jody was at whatever it was, 5. I think Jody was at 5 in the morning. Jordan was at 4. And then at night it flipped. So Jordan was at 5 at night and Jody was at 4. So whoever had collected the most numbers of 1s between all of those votes is the one that actually won the show. Right? Make sense? Now, again, we don't know which judge judged what they actually put down as their score. But let's just say somewhere in there, let's say that Jody got a 3 somewhere in there. One of the judges judged her as 3rd place. Well, that would knock her out of the running for winning if Jordan had all 1s and 2s. Does that make sense? Okay, so that's how they break it. That's how they break a tie. They have to, when it comes down to a tie, they have to go back and look at the individual judging scores in order to find the winner. Okay, so that's how you break it. Okay, so with that, we'll take a quick look at their photos. But again, this was very, very difficult because it was just so shadowed. It was just so hard to see what anybody looked like. So I'm going to just kind of give these girls shouts out and say congratulations for everything that they did at the show. These would be great photos for like a photo shoot photo kind of thing. So this is Nicole. She came in 5th. Like if you're doing a photo shoot or something, these are amazing photos for photo shoots. you know, like shows everything, shows all the lines, all of that. But there's so much shadowing here. Like you can't even see her hamstring back here. Can't see her hamstrings back here. You know, can't see any of that stuff. Right. So as far as pictures as a photo shoot, they're fantastic. Just, you know, you can use them as, you know, pretty shots for your wall or something like that. I just can't judge from them. That's all. So there's that. Let me pull up a back shot of her, because again, I want to be able to give them their highlights and everything here too. So let me find a back shot. Well, it's going to go. There we go. Okay. There's back shot for her. One thing I can say from this picture is I'd like to see her relax up here a little bit. She's a little pinched. If she relaxes these arms down, I think that her shoulders will pop more. But she's tight through the back, real tight. You know, again, the shadowed lighting helps to show that, right? So, I mean, from what I can tell, this looks like a great back shot, but there's not a whole lot I can critique other than I just like to see her relax her arms a little bit. So, but really nice glute pop, all of that here. So that's your 5th place. Let's go back to 4th, which is Alessia. Let's find a good front shot of her. This one will work. And this is unfortunate because I do feel like this is a pretty good front shot for Alessia. Her waistline looks pretty tight. Like you can see right here, she's real tight through that lower back. But again, there's such a huge shadow there. I can't give a huge critique here. And she looks pretty tight through that lower ab, which sometimes I give critiques on that with her. She tends to have lower ab distension, but we don't see any of that here. So, I mean, from what I can tell, her waistline looks really tight, but I mean, it's just so shadowed here. I can't tell much. I think this is a very good shot for her though. Yeah, I'd relax the arm a little bit, but again, this could just be an in-between shot. I'd like to see this arm relax a little. Let's find a back shot of hers. Well, she posed. Some of these pictures are just like in between. So I don't see, she doesn't have oh, there we go. There's the back shot. I was gonna say we don't have a full on back shot here. This is so hard to tell what her back looked like. I mean, looking here, and I thought this on the live stream too, but I can't really tell. I feel like she needs to arch her back more. But we're missing a lot of this outer pop in her glute and things like that because of the shadows. We got a lot of shadow on her lower back. Like her lower back is all right here. You can see it's there, but there's such a shadow there. It looks like her waistline is teeny tiny, but her back is there. You can see it. So, and you can't see the fullness of her glutes because we got shadow on the inside here too. So we can't see the fullness of the glutes either. Lighting wasn't as bad in person, but the live stream was pretty awful. Yeah, I mean, from what I saw, and again, I was sent pictures and videos from Yulia that was actually there in person. The lighting was a bit better in person than it was on the live stream and then what we're seeing from these stage shots, but still it's just really shadowed. It was really shadowed even at the actual show itself too. So, again, it makes for great pictures for like artsy photos and Instagram content and things like that, but not so much for judging. So my critiques are very slight for this show just because of this reason. I can't give good, honest, unbiased, like unfiltered critiques because the photos look like they're filtered. So I can't critique hair and makeup at all. I can't critique suit colors at all. So yeah, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. All right, so here's Ivana. So let's pull up Ivana. Front pose for Ivana. She's in her red, which I do love. I love that red on her. So again, the only thing that I would say with Ivana, this front pose is this is a pet peeve of mine. You can't see her belly button because of her hand. So I'd like to see her hand come back a little bit and down just a little bit here too, just so that we can see her belly button. And then her suit bottoms do pull on her her abs right here, and I see this a lot in her photos. So I'd like to somehow fix that right there where we don't see that pull from her suit bottoms. But that's about all I can really say about this front pose. Other than that, she looks like she's full. Looks like she's popping. Maybe do a different nail color. That's pretty distracting right here with the green, blue nails and everything else being red. So I'd like to see a more neutral nail right there. My eyes go straight to those nails, so that's never a good thing. I tell you guys all the time, when you've got a presentation detail that draws the eye, that's not a good thing. You want everything to kind of complement each other. So I would definitely rethink this right here because that's directly where my eyes went. So that's a no-no. So there's a critique I can give. There's a critique I can give. Let's see. Let's get a back shot. So she went with straight hair at this show, which for me, I like her curls better. Can't see her lower back because of her straight hair. And it's hitting the top of her bikini. So again, since we can't see her back right here, it looks like her back is thicker than it actually is. And again, the pose looks fine to me. I would like to see a little bit more shoulder pop here, but this could be the lighting as well. So I'll hand it to her on that. Maybe a little bit more arch in her lower back. It looks like we're lacking a little bit in the upper and outer glute, but everybody has looked like that I've pulled up so far. So it could definitely just be the lighting. It could definitely just be how the pictures were taken. So again, I don't want to critique her on that too hard. But as far as the presentation details, I like the curls better just because we can see her lower back a little bit better with the curls. That's my critique for the back pose. Let's go to second, which was Jody. Let me find a good front pose for her. Here's a decent one. Okay, so oops, hit the wrong button. Not what I meant to do. Here's Jody. Good front pose overall. I don't see anything wrong with the front pose. One of the critiques I've given before on her is her makeup. I think here it's fine. Again, I can't really see it because of the lighting. I think it's a little bit better. Maybe somebody that was there maybe could tell me. But overall, I think this is a cleaner look. Like her hair look is better this show than her last show. So I do like that. I think that's definitely better. Yeah, overall front pose looks great. I wouldn't change anything about it. I think her front pose looks really good. Let's take a look at her back. She's moving. This is I think she's a little off center in this back pose, but I think this is the best one we're gonna get. So here's her back pose. To me, this looks really good in her back pose. She's got a nice arch in that back. You can tell she's arching her back really nicely as opposed to some of the other girls I mentioned. I felt like they needed to arch a little bit more. This is a good arch. You can see that. One of the things I said about Nashville is that I wanted to see some more fullness in her hair right here, which it looks like she has. And even from the live stream, it looked like her hair was fuller back here, which I liked. That's a good thing. To me, this back pose looks better than Nashville too. She looks pretty full. She's still tight through the hamstrings and everything too, but she looks fuller, which I think that's good. And her shoulder caps are popping. So I think this is a really good back pose. I think this was probably one of her better looks. Even with her glam and everything too, I think was better than what we've seen in the past. But that's the best I can see and say as far as this actual photo and live stream is concerned. I do think this was probably one of her better looks, just based on what I can see. And that would be a good indication of why she was tied for first place, right? So let's go to our winner. And Jody and Jordan are like best friends too. So that's kind of cool that they got to share this together. It's not often that you get to see that kind of thing happen. So that was kind of cool. Let me find a good front pose of hers. Here we go. So Jordan's a beautiful girl, has a beautiful look. One of the things that I've mentioned in past shows was a little bit of ab distension, which I don't see here, which is good. Tan looks nice. Shoulders are popping more than what I've seen in the past, which is good. That's what she needed as well. Her legs do not look overpowering here, which is also a critique I've given her in the past too. This looks pretty balanced. Overall, I think this was a very good look for her. I'd like to see this hand come down a little. I'm never a huge fan of the hand going above the belly button. I want it to be belly button or below. That tends to be the best spot for it. But I do think this is a better front pose than what I've seen on her in the last few shows. So that's good. That's good. She came a little bit more straight on to the judges, it looks like, which I think works for her to help balance her lower body a little bit better. So I do like that. Let's find a back pose for her. And she just turned pro this year too. So she's been making the rounds on these pro shows. So kudos to her for continuing to work, right? All right. Back shot. So again, she could probably relax her arms down a little bit. She's got a good arch though. She's got a good arch in her lower back. That's good. Hair look was really pretty. I noticed this actually on the live stream. I really liked her hair. I thought it looked really pretty. And back shot looks nice. She's nice and high and popped full through the glutes. And she's got that again, that curve in her lower back, which is very important. And I think both her and Jody did this very well. Out of that top four, I think they had the best curve right here. And she looks about the same fullness as Jody does from the back. Like I feel like they were very comparable when it comes to their conditioning level and the way that they presented themselves, which would make sense since they train together and all this kind of stuff too. Iron sharpens iron, that kind of thing. So I think this was a really good look for her. My only critique would probably be to bring these arms down a little bit here. And going into Olympia, just continue to work on balancing the upper body with the lower body, filling out those shoulders a little bit more. So she does have a little bit more on the lower half. Go ahead, fill those shoulders out, match it, right? But congratulations to her getting that Olympia qualification. So there's one more there. So there's so many shows, you guys, over the next few couple of months here that are still qualifying people for the Olympia. This freaking bikini Olympia is going to be huge. It's going to be enormous. It's going to be so big. So maybe I imagine as these girls start qualifying, they'll probably get off stage and take a break and just rev up for the Olympia at this point. I have my water bottle. There it is. So that's what I would assume she's going to do at this point. Give herself a break. She's been going nonstop. I think like I said, I think she did 4 shows in a matter of 2 weeks. That's crazy. 4 shows in 2 weeks is nuts. Any questions on any of the stuff that we've covered so far tonight, guys? Any questions? I don't know if we have a show or not this weekend. Do you guys know? I haven't even looked. Let's see. We have North Americans, obviously, but I just don't know. Nope, no pro shows this weekend. Oh, we get a break. Yes, because on Thursday I head to Pittsburgh for North Americans. We have several girls competing. So this will be my only live this week unless I can get on while I'm up at Pittsburgh. I might try to do that. I always do try to do that. Doesn't always work, but I'll try. But with that, keep watching our Instagram. And if you are on our list for Cuties Conquering the Stage for pre-registration, make sure that you're clicking through and you're watching the videos and getting involved. We're doing giveaways of suits for those people that share the most, comment, all of that, ask questions. If you've never been to Cuties Conquering the Stage before, this is very much an interactive planning process, meaning if you give us a topic that we feel is a good topic to be discussed, we will include it. And we're going to award free suits and things like that for the people that do the best job with sharing and with asking questions. So make sure that you're staying involved because you could very well be the winner of one of those things, right? We're going to be announcing sponsors. I've been tagging a bunch of them already in our reels, things like that. Our sponsors at our Cuties Conquering the Stage are very different from a lot of shows where they give away sponsorships of their own. They give away services. They give away gifts. Some of the girls walk away with thousands of dollars worth of free stuff from these sponsors. And you get free stuff from me too. So, We have these epic swag bags that we do and all that kind of stuff. I know Jennifer, who's on live with us right now, just figured out this weekend that the bag we gave out has a food cooler in it. So for those of you that didn't know, because apparently a lot of people didn't realize this, the bag, the Cuties Conquering the Stage bag from last year, if you unzip the bottom of that, that's for food. You put food in there. So it's a black travel bag, and it has a compartment on the bottom where you can put your food. So it's a meal prep bag, in case you didn't know. That's why I use mine everywhere I go. Literally, I use that bag everywhere I go. Do not just judge me. I love that bag. Yeah, I had to throw it out there because you're not the only one. You're not the only one that didn't realize this. But yeah, if you unzip the bottom of that bag, you can put your food in there. So that's one of the gifts that we give away at Cuties Conquering the Stage that you get just for coming. We always have a bag. We always have a tracksuit. We always have all sorts of fun stuff, posing suit and gifts and goodies and all of that too. So those kinds of things, all of those things get announced as we move along. But make sure that you're on our pre-registration list right now, because that's what's most important, so that you can get one of those early bird tickets when we do open up next week. We open up on the 6th with ticket sales. So be ready, because they go very, very fast. And those of you that have been involved in the past 8 years, you know that. So be on top of it so that we can get you all registered and ready to go and getting excited about the new season and all of that too. It is a fantastic way to start your new year. So I didn't know. I know it had a separate section, but I didn't know that was for food. Yeah, it's for food. I literally because you guys know I use Trifacta for my meals, so I can fit 4 Trifacta meals and an actual ice block inside there. So whenever I travel and I go on the plane, my food goes in there. Ta-da! It's so great with the handles or a long strap to carry it. So many compartments. It's perfect. CCTS is where it's at. Yes, absolutely. I swear I use it every day. I use it as my gym bag, and it looks professional because it's black and gold. So I use it all the time. And my gym bag, so my food goes in there. Whenever I go anywhere, do anything, I pack my food, and it doesn't look like a meal prep bag. It looks like a typical weekender travel bag kind of thing. So anyway, I use it as my carry-on everywhere I go. I can't wait for CCTS either. We have a fantastic lineup of speakers this year. And again, if you're on our pre-registration list and you've seen all of our speakers, we've announced a few of them. But they are also all tagged in all of our posts and everything like that too. So I'm tagging everybody so you can click through and see who's coming, and all of that fun stuff. Any questions tonight, you guys? All right, we've been on for an hour, so I'm going to let you guys go. Hope this was a informative live feed again for you. Be watching all of our social media stuff. Be watching your inboxes. Be watching everything. This is the time that counts, y'all. So I hope you have a fantastic week. I will keep you all updated as we go along. Oh, and if you are going to North Americans and you're one of my posing clients, I will be in touch as I go up on Thursday for when and where we're going to meet for posing when I get there. Okay. Yes. Good luck to all the ladies in North Americans. Yes. Hopefully we'll bring home some more pro cards, some more pro performer promise winners. So those of you that don't know, if you wear my suit and you win your pro card, you get sponsored for life with me. So we may have some girls coming out this weekend with new sponsorships. So keep that in mind too. Keep that in mind too. And as always, if you'd like to work with me, suitsandposing.com is where you have to go, because we do hair, makeup, suits, and posing, all the fun stuff when it comes to competing. And get on that list for early bird tickets. All right. I'm going to X out of YouTube first, and then we'll end Instagram.